With the growing skill ceiling of Minecraft, you need to learn how to get gear quicker and quicker. This is where this video comes in. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can get geared and conquer any SMP fast. Quick disclaimer before I get into the video, this is not going to be perfect for everybody, and please keep in mind that some of the mods I'm using, some SMPs will ban, so you will have to change your strategy depending on what server you're playing. Now let's get straight into it. Starting off, you want to prioritize getting stone tools and finding an ocean. This will be key for later when you want to enter the Nether and get better tools. If you get a bad biome like this one, you just want to look for any structure that might give you good resources. After a bit of travelling, I find one of two structures that can have a buried treasure map. That is this ocean drowned temple thing. Seriously, who knows the name of this thing? After some travelling, I reached where the buried treasure was. The buried treasure is the most important part of getting geared. It can have diamonds, almost always iron, TNT, and food. The reason I said TNT was especially good is because you can blow it up to quickly get wood and blocks, as you can see me doing here. You now have one of two options: either go straight to the Nether without getting more gear, or spend more time looking for shipwrecks to get better gear. At this point, I want to make it clear that the Nether phase of this video is not going to be suitable for some players, as it does require some knowledge of certain structures. Once you're into the Nether, you want to focus on trying to find a structure. This is where all those blocks from the TNT will come in useful, as you can simply bridge across gaps. After a lot of travelling, I found one of two structures, which was a fortress. This structure isn't as complicated, as all you want to gain at this point is a Nether wart. There is no way you're going to be able to get blaze rods because you do not have fire res, and it is too risky to grind these out with a shield. But you can mark the coordinates down of where the structure is and come back later to get blaze rods. Eventually, I managed to find a bastion, which is the better of the two structures in the Nether when it comes to gearing up. It's important to have a lava bucket in a bastion, so that you can kill the piglin brutes, as an axe, which you probably only have an iron or a stone axe, will not do that much damage to them. If you do not know where the gold blocks are in a bastion, your main and only aim is to loot the chests. There are two types of bastion that you want to be concerned about. There's ones that are more complicated, and then there are ones that have these rampart sections. These rampart sections are where you will find the chests. These chests have the best loot that you can get. One of the best strategies to deal with piglins is to simply build up 2 blocks and use your lava bucket that way. Just be careful in case a piglin has a crossbow, because they can knock you off. That is why you can always just block up next to your wall, as it is much harder to be knocked off that way. Furthermore, wearing a gold helmet means that regular piglins cannot attack you unless you either open a chest, break gold blocks, or punch them. When opening chests, I suggest you dig 2 blocks down and cover your head off before you dig another block to open the actual chest. This way you're safe if a pig does aggro on you, and you can simply throw them some gold to distract them. This is where your knowledge of bastions can play a really big role. Because I'm a speedrunner, I know where a good amount of gold blocks are found in this bastion. For those of you who don't know, rare gold blocks are naturally spawned in bastions, and speedrunners like myself know where these gold blocks are, so they can trade with piglins to get ender pearls, for example. I suggest if you want to make the most out of this, you learn where at least some gold blocks are in bastions. In my opinion, the best two bastions are Bridge and Treasure because they have so much gold blocks in them. But if you know bastion routes for all 4 types of stables, you can actually get up to 13 gold blocks in every single bastion, although this does depend because some gold blocks don't have a guaranteed spawn. I will leave a link in the description which has a video made by RecRap. His video is very good and explains a basic bastion route for every single type of bastion. This means that you can at least gather some gold blocks, although these are very basic bastion routes and do not have every single gold block. Also, his video does give advice about the Nether in general, but there have been some changes since 1.16, as he speedruns Minecraft as well, and speedrunners use 1.16.1, which is a much older version of Minecraft than the current 1.21. whatever. I suggest watching this video along with his overworld video, because both of them are very good and can help you progress as a player in Minecraft. Hopefully, once you've looted a bastion, you will have 10 obsidian. Using this, you can build a second nether portal to leave for nether. Now, your main aim needs to be to get a village and make a base. Preferably, you want to move the villages away from this village, so it's less obvious where your base is. The basic idea of a base is to have a setup of villagers that you can trade string for emeralds, and then using librarians and other villagers you can get diamond armor and tools. The best way to get emeralds on servers is usually using a tripwire hook duper or a string duper, depending on if your server has either updated to the correct version where string dupers are patched, or if they have a plugin that allows string dupers on later versions. If so, string dupers are typically better, but tripwire hook dupers work just as well. You just need to have more of them, and you have to have a leveled up Fletcher before you can get the infinite emeralds. I am not going to show you the best way to set up a base, because otherwise you will have basically no idea how to change it to suit yourself. You need to work out your own style of base that suits your style of gameplay. For example, I like having multiple fishermen to trade string with, because I know there will be multiple players in my base grinding at the same time. I also like to have the fisherman directly next to the string duper, just for convenience sake. And I always like to have a certain crafting area, a certain area for furnaces, and a certain area for storage. But this could all be in different places. Every person's base is different, even every base I make is different. So there's no point me showing you a certain base, because it's going to always end up being different depending on if there's caves underground, or any other factors that mean you have to build it differently. However, if you made it this far, you should have plenty of gold, some diamond tools from a bastion, if you did do a bastion raiding, nether wart, and hopefully some blaze powder. This means you will be well ahead of any other members on the SMP, unless they've watched this video, because they will also be doing the same strategy as you. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please feel free to join my Discord server. I am active pretty often, and my admins will also be around to answer any questions. Also subscribe, because I'm going to be hopefully releasing my first ever SMP video soon. So please stay tuned for that, and have a good day.